Hi guys, good day. It's me, Teacher MJ. Our topic for today class, it's all about the circle, transforming standard form to general form. So without further ado, let's do this topic. So we do have 4 examples class for you to really understand how to transform the standard form into general form. Alright, so the standard form of a circle, that would be x squared plus y squared equals r squared if your center is at 0, 0. Once again, class, if the value of your h and the value of your k is 0, 0, this will be the equation x squared plus y squared equals r squared. Now, if your h and k is not 0, 0, example, your h is 2, your k is negative 3, this will be your equation. Quantity x minus h squared plus quantity y minus k squared equals r squared. And the general form of a circle, that would be x squared plus y squared plus dx plus ey plus f equals 0. So we transform the standard form into the general form. Alright, so let's start with number 1. So we have x squared plus y squared equals 16. So for number 1 class, it would be really easy for us to transform the standard form into general form. Why is that, sir? Because the value of your h and the value of your k is 0, 0. So look at the equation, class. So if you have this equation, therefore your h and k is at 0, 0, it would be really easy for you to transform this one into general form. So to transform number 1, so let me answer number 1. We have x squared plus y squared equals 16. So to transform this one, class, just very easy. Just simply transpose this 16 from right to left, from this equal sign. Why is that, sir? Because in general form, class, it says equal to 0. The last part, it should be equal to 0. The right side of the equal sign, once again, this is our equal sign. The right side of the equal sign, it should be equal to 0. So therefore, we just simply transpose this 16 from right to left. So transpose 16 from right to left. And your final answer will be x squared plus y squared. This is positive. Do not forget, once you transfer an equation from this equal sign, you change the sign. This is positive, it will be negative. Negative 16 equals 0. That's it, class. That's the answer for number 1. Easy, right? For number 1. So if your h and k is at 0, 0, it would be really easy, class. Just simply transpose the constant from right to left. And this will be your final answer. Now, if the teacher will ask you to find the value of d, e, and f, so our d, so once again, class, our d is beside x with the exponent of 1. Understood that the exponent of x here is 1. So dx, the exponent of x is 1. So we don't have it here. We have x squared. We don't have a number together with x with the exponent of 1. Once again, class, dx here, example, we have 5x, like 6x, x with the exponent of 1. And we don't have it here in our example. So if you don't have the value of d, just simply write 0, class. So our d is 0. So our e is beside y with the exponent of 1. And once again, class, if you didn't see any number with regards to the variable, okay, if you didn't see any exponent with regards to the variable, understood that the exponent is 1. So our e, a number together with y with the exponent of 1, we don't have it here. We only have y squared. So therefore, our e is 0. And f, class, is the constant. So our f is negative 16. So once again, class, if the teacher will ask you to find the value of d, e, and f, this will be your answer. D is 0, e is equals to 0, and f is equals to negative 16. That's it, class. All set for number 1. Easy, right? For number 1. Alright, so let's try number 2. So let me just erase this standard form. So just remember the standard form, class. I will put the general form in this part so that we have enough space. So that's it for number 1, class. Easy, right? For number 1. So general form, we have x squared plus y squared plus dx plus ey plus f equals 0. Alright, so let's start answering number 2. So for number 2, we don't have the value of our h because it says x squared only, and we don't have the value of our h, but we have the value of our k. So for number 2, class, let me copy the equation x squared plus quantity y plus 6 squared equals 4. So the thing that we will do, class, is you need to copy x squared. Just simply copy x squared then copy plus sign, then you simplify this one, class. Y plus 6, so once again, quantity y plus 6 squared. What do you mean by that one, class? Squared. So once again, if you see squared, it means that you multiply this equation by itself twice. Once again, class, if you have 3 squared, it doesn't mean 3 times 2. It means 3 times 3. You multiply this number by itself twice. Now, if you have this equation, y plus 6 quantity squared, it means that you multiply this equation by itself twice. So you have two options, class, to answer this one. You can use the FOIL method or you can use the square of binomial. So do not be worried, class. We will be explaining the two methods or the two ways to answer this one for you to really understand this one, class. So let's start with the FOIL method. Once again, y plus 6 quantity squared, you can multiply this equation by itself twice. Y plus 6 times y plus 6. This is actually the same, class. Y plus 6 quantity squared, it means y plus 6 times y plus 6. So you can do the FOIL method. Just remember, class, the FOIL method. First, outer, inner, last. So let's start with first, y times y. So y times y, that would be y squared. Alright, and then outer, y times positive 6, that's positive 6y. Then inner, 6 times y, okay, 6 times y, that's positive 6y. Then last, positive 6 times positive 6, that's positive 36. And then you combine like terms, class. This will be copy y squared. Once again, you cannot combine y squared and y because the exponent of y here is just 1. Okay? So just copy y squared, then combine this one. We can combine this one. So 6 plus 6, that is 12. And then simply copy y, class. Copy y. Alright, so 6 plus 6 is 12, then copy y, then plus 36. So that's the answer, class, of this square of binomial. So of this y, quantity y plus 6 squared. So that's the answer. Doing the FOIL method. So next step is you use the square of binomial. So for me, class, it's better to use the square of binomial because if you master the square of binomial, you can easily answer this one within 3 to 5 seconds, I think, class. Alright, so we will be explaining the square of binomial. So let me just write the answer here. This will be y squared plus 12y plus 36, then copy equals 4. So once again, class, it depends on you which do you prefer. You can use the FOIL method or we can use the square of binomial. So let me explain the square of binomial, class. Alright, so the square of binomial. So let me copy the equation. Y plus 6 quantity squared. So y plus 6 quantity squared in the square of binomial, class. Let's master the square of binomial, class, for us to really answer this one easily. So in the square of binomial, it says you square the first term. So once again, class, this is what we call the square of binomial because we have two terms and then squared. So first thing, we do have three procedures. First thing, you square the first term. Okay, you square the first term. So the first term is y, so you square it, that would be y squared. Then second procedure, you multiply the first term and second term times 2. So you multiply the first term and second term. So y times 6, then times 2. Alright, you multiply the first term and second term. So y times 6, then times 2. Then last, you square the last term. So the last term is 6. So you square it. That would be 6, then squared. Alright, and your final answer will be, so simplify, you square the first term, so y times y, that is y squared. Then you multiply the first term and second term times 2, so y times 6, that's 6y times 2, that's positive 12y. Then you square the last term, 6 times 6, that's positive 36. And that's it, class. That's the answer for the square of binomial. Easy, right? For the square of binomial, so you can answer it. You can just simply answer it 3 to 5 seconds, I think, class. So let's answer it 3 to 5 seconds. Example, y plus 5. Just example, class. Y plus 5 quantity squared. So you can answer this one, class, easily. You square the first term, so y times y, that is y squared. Then you multiply the first term and second term times 2. So y times 5, that's 5y times 2, that is positive 10y. Then you square the last term, 5 times 5, that's positive 25. Easy, right? For the square of binomial. So that's it, class. If you master the square of binomial, class, I think it would be really easy for your class to answer this equation. Alright, so let's check if we have the same answer. Yep, y squared plus 12y plus 36. So next thing, class, is we need to transpose this 4 from right to left. So copy x squared plus y squared plus 12y plus 36. So transpose 4 from right to left. So transfer 4 from right to left. This is positive. Once you transfer from this equal sign, you change the sign. This is positive. It will be negative 4 equals 0. And your final answer will be x squared plus y squared plus 12y. So combine like terms. So we can combine 36 and 4. 36 minus 4, that's positive 32, equals 0. That's it, class. All set for number 2. Easy, right? For number 2. Now, if the teacher will ask you to find the value of d, so your d is beside x with the exponent of 1. Once again, dx, the exponent of x here is 1. So understood that x here, the exponent is 1, same with y. Do we have it here, a number together with x with the exponent of 1? Nope, we don't have it here. So our d is 0. Our e is beside y with the exponent of 1. Do we have it here? Yep, we have 12y. And the exponent of y here is 1. So therefore, our e is beside y. Our e is 12. Alright, and our f is the constant. So we have a number. So our f is 32. That's it, class. That's the answer for number 2. All set for number 2. So let's try number 3. Alright, so you pause the video, class. I will be erasing this one. So let's try number 3. Easy, right? For these examples. So number 3, we have x minus 3 squared plus y squared equals 25. So for number 3, class, we don't have the value of k, but we have the value of h. Okay, so we don't have the value of k. So simplify this one. You can use the square of binomial. You can use the FOIL method. So let's do the two solutions, class. Let's check if you really understand that one. Alright, so do not be worried, class. I will just put the link with the description down below with regards to the square of binomial. So feel free to see the link, class, for you to master the square of binomial. So let's simplify this one first with the FOIL method. X minus 3 quantity squared. It means that you multiply this equation by itself twice. So x minus 3 multiplied by x minus 3. Let's do the FOIL method and let's do the square of binomial later on. So first, x times x, that would be x squared. So first, outer, x times negative 3, that's negative 3x. Inner, so negative 3 times x, negative times positive, that's negative 3 times x, that's 3x. So negative 3 times x, that's negative 3x. Then last, negative 3 times negative 3. So negative times negative, that is positive. 3 times 3 is 9. Then combine like terms, simply copy x squared. Then negative, combine with negative. Once again, class, if you both have negatives, you have negative 3. And again, negative 3, just simply copy the sign. Then you add the numbers, class. 3 plus 3, that is 6. Then copy x. Do not be confused, class. If you both have negatives, negative 3 and negative 3, simply copy negative sign. Okay, copy negative sign, then you add the number 3 plus 3 is 6, then copy x. And then copy plus 9. That's the answer, class. Easy, right? Using the FOIL method. But it would be really easy, class, if you use the square of binomial. So let me copy the answer. We have x squared minus 6x plus 9. Alright, so x squared minus 6x plus 9. Then copy plus y squared. Alright, then copy 25. Let's just copy first 25 plus because we need to arrange this one. Alright, let's use the square of binomial once again for you to master this out. But for number 4 class, we will be using the square of binomial class. We will not use the FOIL method for number 4 so that we can answer this one easily. Alright, so x minus 3. So let me just explain once again the square of binomial. So the square of binomial, it says you square the first term. So square the first term. So you square x, that would be x squared. Then you multiply the first term and second term. So x multiplied by the second term, x times negative 3 times 2, so times 2. So once again, multiply the first term and second term, so x times negative 3 times 2. Then you square the last term, so the last term is negative 3, so negative 3 then squared. Alright, and then your final answer will be, so you square the first term, x times x, that is x squared. You multiply the first term and second term, so x times negative 3, that's negative 3x times 2, that's negative 6x. So once again, x times negative 3, that's negative 3x. Negative 3x times positive 2, that's negative 6x. Then you square the last term, negative 3. Once again, class, negative 3, then squared. It doesn't mean negative 3 times 2. It means negative 3 times negative 3. So negative 3 times negative 3, that's positive 9. And you have the same answer, class. X squared minus 6x plus 9. So it's very easy, class, for the square of binomial. So in number 4, class, we will be using the square of binomial. Alright, so next step, you arrange, class. Once again, follow this equation. So we have x squared, then copy y squared. Okay, x squared and y squared. Next is dx, a number with x. So we have negative 6x. Then, do we have ey, a number together with y with exponent of 1? Nope, we don't have it here. So next, copy plus 9. Then transpose 25 from right to left. So this is positive. It will be negative 25. Then equals 0. So this will be x squared plus y squared minus 6x. So positive 9, negative 25. If the signs are not the same, once again, we have positive and negative 25. If the signs are not the same, you subtract, then copy the sign of the larger number. Once again, class, if the signs are not the same, combining integers with unlike signs, if the signs are not the same, you subtract, then copy the sign of the larger number. So 25 minus 9, that is 16. Now 25 is greater than 9, so we copy the sign, negative 16. So positive 9 minus 25, that is negative 16. And then copy equals 0. So our d is beside x with exponent of 1. So our d is negative 6. Our e, do we have it here? A number together with y with exponent of 1. Nope, we don't have it here. So our e is 0 and our f is negative 16. That's it, class. That's the answer for number 3. Easy, right? For number 3. So let's try number 4, last one. Alright, I hope you're still with me, class, for number 4. So copy the equation x plus 5 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 49. Alright, so for number 4, class, we just use the square of binomial. So square the first term, that would be x squared. Then you multiply the first term and second term, x times 5, that's 5x times 2, that's positive 10x. Then you square the last term, 5 times 5, that's positive 25. So that's it, class. You can just simply answer this one within 3 to 5 seconds. Once again, you square the first term, x times x, that is x squared. You multiply the first term and second term, x times 5, that's 5x times 2, that's positive 10x. Then you square the last term, or you square the second term, 5 times 5, that's positive 25. That's it, class, for this x plus 5 quantity squared. Easy, right? So next, plus, you square the first term, y times y, that's y squared. Then you multiply the first term and second term, so y times negative 3, that's negative 3y, times 2, that's negative 6y. Then you square the last term, negative 3 times negative 3, that's positive 9. Then copy equals 49. So once again, class, for this one, x plus 5, quantity squared, you square the first term, you multiply the first term and second term, x times 5 times 2, so multiply the first term and second term, x times 5 times 2, then you square the last term, then 5, then squared. So we have x squared, x times 5 is 5x times 2, that's positive 10x. Then 5 times 5, that's positive 25. That's why you have this answer, class. Alright, and for this one, x minus 3 squared. So you square the first term, y times y, that is y squared. You multiply the first term and second term, y times negative 3 times 2. And then you square the last term, negative 3 squared. So this will be y squared, y times negative 3, that's negative 3y, times 2, that's negative 6y. Then negative 3 times negative 3, that's positive 9. So you have this answer, class. So master class, the square of binomial, for you to really answer this one easily. So next step is we need to arrange. So we have x squared. Then next will be y squared plus y squared. Next will be dx, x, a number together with x, plus 10x. Then a number together with y, minus 6y. Then plus 25. Then plus 9. Then transpose 49 from right to left. This is positive. It will be negative 49, then equals 0. Alright, so we have x squared plus y squared plus 10x minus 6y. Then you combine this one, class, the numbers. Once again, class, we cannot combine x and y. Same with x squared and y squared. So we cannot combine this one, class, as it should be the same literal coefficient, plus same letter and same exponent for you to combine. So we cannot combine this one, the different letters. Same with this one. Okay, x squared and x, we cannot combine this one because the exponent of x is just 1. So it should be same letters and same exponent for you to combine. Same literal coefficients. In this one, we can combine this one because these are all numbers. So 25 plus 9. 25 plus 9, that is positive 34 minus 49 equals 0. So this will be x squared plus y squared plus 10x minus 6y. Positive 34 minus 49. If the signs are not the same, you subtract. Then copy the sign of the larger numbers. 49 minus 34. So 9 minus 4 is 5. 4 minus 3 is 1. So 15. Now since 49 is greater than 34, so we copy the negative sign. So the answer is negative 15. Alright, then equals 0. That's it, class. That's our final answer. Easy, right? So that's it. We transform the standard form into general form. And the value of your d is beside x with the exponent of 1. So the d is 10. And our e is beside y. Okay, our e is negative 6. And our f is the constant, negative 15. All set, class, for number 4. That's it. So if you have some questions, class, with regards to transforming standard form to general form, feel free to leave a comment, class, in the comment section down below so that we can answer this one. Once again, class, I hope you learned something new today. Now, if you learned something new today, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. You share to your friends and to your classmates, class, so that we can help more students. Once again, this is Teacher MJ. Have a great day, class. Goodbye for now. Bye-bye.